All right, how are you?
I'm good.
I just realized what I heard it.
Oh, what the?
That's definitely going on before the podcast.
All right.
I love it. Every podcast we start off, everybody's dancing except me.
For you. Go ahead.
I have the rhythm of a 2x4. Welcome to J's for Days, and I forgot almost what we're at. I think we're on 6. Is this the sixth podcast? Joey is absent, but as you see, we have replaced him with one of my best friends in the world. It's Cameron Elliott. Cameron, say what? How are you today, sir?
I am great.
How's life treating you?
It's treating me.
It's treating you?
Yeah.
I guess it's better than ignoring you.
Yes.
Well, coming up on this podcast, we're trying to come up with topics because we're kind of random and sporadic. So as we've told you before, we're kind of going figuring out where we want to go direction wise with the podcast. So we're kind of formatting it as we go. So today we got more topics and more things to discuss than we normally do. I don't even think we thought about playing a game today.
No, we didn't. This will be the first one.
First one without a game. You'll be okay. All right, so to start things off, number one, because I will forget, because we've meant to do it the last several and we forget. We're going to do a paranormal podcast soon, talking about ghosts and all kinds of freaky stuff. So we need you to email me, her, Facebook, message, text,
Instagram,
whatever, and let us know your ghost story. Or we can have you call in and give it to us, but we're going to play it. It's going to be like an hour-long special. It's going to be fun. We might do that in the next couple. So yeah, that's fun. We're looking forward to that. And so moving down the docket, what have you been up to since we spoke last?
I've been up to a whole lot, Justin, but the most important thing is that I'm here tonight, and I'm excited.
I feel like you're at a presidential debate or something. Like you have something to hide.
Nope.
I think she has something to hide. Cameron, we already know life's treating you.
Oh, it's treating me. Yes.
So Cameron and I both actually. I'm sorry that you're left out of this. Cameron and I actually both saw 2 movies this weekend. We saw The Avengers and The Wedding Ringer.
Yes.
Both were awesome movies.
Awesome.
If you haven't seen The Avengers 2 yet, you should go do that. Even if you're not a fan of the Avengers or Marvel franchise, you should go see Avengers 2. Avengers 1 was awesome. Avengers 2 was like...
out of the park.
Way awesome. And which brings me to our first topic of discussion. Have you seen any of the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
I don't take that as a no.
No, I have. I guess.
So here's the deal. You have the Avengers and the Avengers 2, where they all fight together.
Right.
But what in the hell is going on in their individual movies? Thor's fighting is fighting aliens. I mean, is Iron Man kicked back going, well, let him have this one?
Well, he's a playboy. He's, with his women.
Yeah, his multiple women.
You know.
I've never understood that. It's like, so what do the other
Iron Man stuffs?
It's like, what do the other superheroes do when they're not? It's because I don't get it. Is it like only when the world is threatened? Like when they're each having their own drama, when a whole squad of helicopters comes and blows up Iron Man's house in Iron Man 3. None of the Avengers decide to go, hey, that's our boy. His house just got blown up.
They're on vacay.
Right, apparently, wherever Avengers go on vacay at.
It must work for a union.
Got to. And it's like, I don't understand it. Like, what do they just kick back and go, well, I mean, technically, guys, that's his house. It's not the world. We can't interject here. The Winter Soldier, the second Captain America. Where were the rest of the Avengers?
You would think that, a house collapsing into a sea would prompt some, I got your back, buddy.
Yeah. And instead, they're like, no, it's not the world. So,
Screw your house, Iron Man.
Yeah.
If that happened to you guys, I probably wouldn't step in and help.
I'm disappointed.
What am I going to do?
I mean,
well, I'm not a
moral
superhero.
Support.
Right. I mean, you could be there to give us a pat on the back and say it's okay.
I'll give you a hug.
Okay.
I will not try and save your house.
That's better than what Thor did.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on, Jesse. Last week, you had a response in a conversation that I kind of tinkered with on the podcast, and I realized something. But first, and Cameron, I don't know if you've heard this, so before we do that, let me go ahead and show you the segment I'm talking about.
Okay.
But nobody has attacked one of the cameramen with a stick for their Gatorade yet, so
make that
that
happen,
is still
Zane.
on the table.
Think how much it would suck if the guy he attacked had just finished his Gatorade.
Man.
Throw up in my mouth right now.
All right, so upon playing that, I was like, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the old school chopped and screwed rap,
Yes.
right? It does.
Yes.
What was it? Big Time or something they would have had.
I screwed up and got one of those CDs from the mall one
I
time.
did too. Really made me
Because
really
in fine
sucked.
print it said chopped and screwed, and I thought it meant like remix or something. So I put it in, and I'm like, they didn't speed this up any.
You listen and you're like,
it's
I've got a
like,
messed up copy.
Rolling on dubs.
It's terrible.
Yep.
And so Jesse, and I don't own this beat, all copyright disclaimers, whatever. But so I figured that it needed its own rap beat. So without further ado.
Yeah, I could get jiggy with that.
Available soon.
You have your hype man in the background. Right now.
It's a Cookie Monster.
But how well did that go with that beat?
That would.
I mean, it
Yeah.
fit. I think you
man.
have a very lucrative career.
I might have to quit the podcast now
And just start
my rap career.
Start rapping.
Yeah.
Chopped and screwed.
Maybe preferably not talking about throwing up in other people's
You never
mouths,
know.
but
There's a market out there for that somewhere
there is somewhere.
that somebody hasn't tapped into yet.
We're going to go this whole podcast without saying the P word.
Okay. Oh,
You don't know what it is, so
you
that's
can't
good.
say any P words because you don't know what the real P word is.
Perpendicular.
Okay, so if you're tuned in, if you're noticing, wait a minute, there's something different about my screen, which you can probably see the jumps, but Cameron no longer has headphones.
Dun dun dun.
Where did they go?
We'll never tell. We're never telling where his headphones went. But so, all right, so we now know that Jesse has a very lucrative career in the future of I hope of podcasting, of rapping.
Yeah. Both at the same time. I'm going to have a rap podcast. You better watch out.
So we're looking at things that are going on right now. And okay, you had the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. A snooze fest. Did you work in the bar the night of the fight?
Oh, yeah.
I bet that was busy.
It wasn't because we weren't showing the fight, nor was anyone else in the town. And everybody and their mom and their grandma called the bar every 2 seconds to see if we were showing the fight. Okay, so by the end of the night, we were answering the phone. Spare Times Grill, we're not showing the fight.
I bet, and it was really expensive for a bar to get the rights to that fight, right?
Like $1,500, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
it was ridiculous, and people were like, "Well, you can just have a cover charge at the door." People, don't. You know how many people live in South Boston?
To pay for that, you'd have to do like a $25 cover.
Four
and then-
people at $25 a piece is far from $1,500.
Right. I mean, you'd have to charge a lot, and then at that point, it's like, well, that's half of the pay-per-view. I could just pay the full thing and watch it at my house.
Yeah, because it was 49. I think it was. I mean, I saw somebody say something about $100, but I could have sworn my text message say $49.99.
I heard 100 from everybody. Told me it was 100
well, it might have
for
been.
your house.
And I would have been so mad if I rented that. Or
Yeah.
not rented. I would have been mad if I pay-per-viewed that.
Yeah, you hear what's happening now with him, though, right?
Yes, Mayweather. Well, Pacquiao was fighting with an injury, and they said it.
There's a couple of fans actually sued.
So
because-
now he's facing a lawsuit
Yeah.
for not saying that his shoulder was hurt. And Mayweather, who, of course, had given him props after the fight, is now on the offense, saying that, just talking a lot of trash about Pacquiao and claims that he'll fight him again.
Yeah, I heard that it's a rematch deal.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't that sound kind of set up to you, though? I mean, it already sold so much. I mean, they made like hundreds of millions of dollars
It's boxing,
each.
man.
And then it's like they do it, and it's a boring match, and now they've got some setup for the second. I mean, it might be legit. I'm not saying that it's all a conspiracy, but that just kind of fits too perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we made multiple hundreds of millions.
When the loser gets like $100 million, I mean, just knock me out.
I told my dad, I was
I'll
like,
lose.
I would be happy to go in the ring with any one of them
Any one of them.
and let them tear me to pieces for like $1 million.
Yeah.
You listening, Manny?
I mean,
Tell you the truth, I'd rather go in the ring with Mayweather because I just feel like Manny has more of a power shot.
yeah, he's more of a knockout artist.
Let me interject here for a second.
Interject.
When you
away.
said fighting with an injury, I thought that you were saying fighting with a ninja at first before you put the uri on the end.
That's what I know. I said fighting with a ninja.
Okay.
Yeah, he did say that.
Well,
Where
okay.
did you hear injury? Manny Pacquiao has an injury?
He's a ninja.
No, they got mad because they didn't realize he was on that level
Okay.
of badassery.
All
That
right.
he was fighting
Ninja, go,
ninjas,
ninja,
so
go.
that's not fair because Mayweather could have been killed.
I got you.
He was fighting a dangerous guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Apparently, big words do it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Did I go there?
You went there. I wish I would have been thinking fast enough to have used my sound effect here, but I'll do it late. There's your delay. I'm terrible with punchlines. It's just hard to reach all the way over here and be like, oh, that was a good one.
He's pretty good with it, actually.
Yeah, except for the punchline.
He sets up a whole thing, and then he pushes the button, and then I'm like, the last 20 seconds of my life were a lie. Mm-hmm. He set it all up.
But yeah, so, and moving forward with current events, you had the fight, and then whatever, So, did you see where The Price is Right gave a person in a wheelchair a treadmill?
What?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
It wasn't their fault, but it's just strange irony because basically what happened, the first initial round where everyone goes down and they have the one item and you've got to guess the closest price and then that person gets to move forward.
Right.
Well, the person that guessed it right was in a wheelchair, and so coincidentally, the prize was a treadmill.
They could, put straps on it, hook it, and then just set their wheelchair on it and then run.
I'm not going to laugh at the image in my head because I feel bad with people. I don't think that she had legs. I think she lost her legs.
Not trying to be funny, but you know how they have Olympic sports for people in wheelchairs?
Right.
I'm sure they have some sort of marathon.
Right.
I mean, you could train for that.
That
Right.
is true.
She could work
That's
her
true.
arms spinning the wheel. I guess she could hook
just sell it.
She could hook like a bungee cord pulling her one direction and
I've met people in
Go against
wheelchairs
it.
that have killer upper body strength.
oh yeah. Look at Joe Swanson.
I've met
Yeah, right.
I mean, he's a beast.
who wears short shorts.
I wear short shorts. As we keep moving along, have you seen the Met Ball dresses?
What?
The what?
Like with Rihanna and all these people went to that big art ball wearing these really crazy dresses.
Yeah.
No,
The
Rihanna's
pizza one.
Rihanna's look like scrambled eggs, and it took like 4 guys to just help her walk in that.
Sure that's not Lady Gaga's fashion line?
Lady Gaga was actually dressed pretty normal and very tame.
So it was an opposite day?
I think so. Lady Gaga, I think, has kind of come off of her super, super strange Kermit the Frog suit wearing
Okay.
days.
Remember
and,
when, what was it, Eminem gave her the Grammy?
And he was
And
just like,
he's like, what are you?
that was one of my favorites. All right, so now, which we've still got tons to talk about, but in the last little bit of current events, did you see where the guy had been on the lam from prison for 56 years and they finally caught him?
Just saw that earlier.
The guy's name was Frank Freshwaters, which, by the way, if he ever gets out, he definitely needs to own a fish frying bar. Frank Freshwaters.
Fish.
Yeah.
Fish.
Frank's freshwater fish.
So if he ever, which I doubt he'll get out. I'm pretty sure that once you are on the lam for 56 years,
Can you say that 5 times fast?
what? You can't.
Frank's freshwater fish.
Frank's freshwater fish.
Didn't it
Frank's
say that he
freshwater
was,
fish.
from
Frank's
Shawshank?
freshwater fish. And actually, I think he was at the prison, right? He was at the same. He escaped the prison. Sean, say that 5 times fast.
Shamany.
You try to say that fast. Shawshank Prison.
Shawshank Prison.
Virginity.
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 They were more civilized.
I lost my virginity.
Is that what a bear says?
Speaking of current events, I have something kind of off the cuff about current events.
Go for it.
I know you've seen it, Justin. Jesse, have you seen it?
Yeah, back in the day.
Do you know who's going to be the clown Pennywise in the remake?
No.
The kid from We're the Millers.
The dude that got his junk bit by a tarantula?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did the. They said, being that the book is 900 pages long, they're going to have to do it in 2 movies. They want to get the script down precisely.
Right, because they had to cut out a lot from the old one.
They're going to have to do it, so they want to go with a younger Pennywise. And they said when this guy came in and did the audition, he was spot on.
That's creepy because he looks so innocent, you know?
He does. That's probably, that's
It's
Pennywise's
always the
thing.
quiet ones, y'all. It's always.
But Pennywise is like thousands of years old. I don't know why they need a young Pennywise.
What
He's like this interdimensional spider alien being that
I
eats
get that,
people.
but at the same time, it's like this guy didn't look 1,000 years old either.
No, he didn't.
He looked like he was maybe in his.
But no, what
50s.
I'm saying is that which I guess if it's going to be younger throughout the whole movie, it makes sense. But I thought you meant like they were going to have a younger Pennywise and then an older Pennywise. And
No,
like
from
this-
what I'm understanding, both movies is going to be him as the main star. As Pennywise.
Okay, that'll be
I
interesting.
don't usually watch movies like that, but I think I might because I like that kid.
Oh, I love it. I like Stephen King.
And he was funny in Where the Millers when he did the whole breakdown to waterfalls.
Yeah, that was funny.
Cameron, can we see a redo?
And I don't know that line that well. I'd be just sitting there going,
Then something waterfalls.
please take to the river. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I see. You're going to be a rapper. You're going to be a dancer.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here
You can
talking
be
to
my
myself.
backup dancer. You can dance for me.
And your
Is that-
hype man. I'll be your hype
All
man
right,
too.
cool. Well,
Cool.
something embarrassing happened to me.
And it's something embarrassing happening to Cameron. So let's hear Jesse's embarrassing story and then Cameron.
Yeah, mine's probably not as embarrassing. But getting back to all those people calling us at the bar, it was like really like 9:30, and people were still calling. And there was a bar full of people. And when I answered the phone, they can see me on the phone. And they knew how pissed off I was getting at the people calling. So one person called and they just asked if we were showing the fight. And I said, no, we're not showing the fight. And he just hangs up on me. So I like slammed the phone down. I was like, thanks for hanging up on me. Asshole. You're welcome. And so then one of the security guards calls the phone like a minute later. And I pick it up and I'm sitting there. And he's pretending to be somebody calling about the fight. And he just keeps asking me all these questions. And I was being really nice to him. But I was making all these like really obscene gestures at the phone. He was right there in front of me. I don't know how I didn't know it wasn't him on the phone. And so we went on for like a whole minute and a half. And I finally realized it was him. And the whole entire bar was sitting there watching me the whole time.
You know, this story doesn't surprise me, though. You're pretty gullible with
I'm
phone
very
pranks,
gullible.
because I'll never forget years ago.
I told them about that.
way back in the day. My friend, our friend Jake and I went with Jesse and Deanne and whoever one of y'all was dating at the time to Deanne's house, I think. And Jesse was a little tipsy. And so I kept calling her phone. But the thing is I was like from you to me. She just wasn't looking. And I was like, I'm going to find you. And I'm going to get you. And I mean, she is royally freaking. She's like, are y'all doing this? And I mean, to get away from it, I was just like, I'm going to get you. And I'm like, it's not me. And she's like, oh my God. And I mean, she is royally flipping out. And I don't even think I told you that night. I think it took me a while to tell you.
Well, it's funny because like when I figured out it was them, I was like, you guys, it's not even the first time this has happened to me. This happened to me a while ago. My friend did it to me. He was sitting right there. I'm the most gullible person ever.
Yeah.
I believe anything anyone says.
Yeah.
You could be sitting there on the phone in front of my face talking some crap, and I'm not going to know it's you.
You believe my name was Justin for like the last 20 years.
I don't know. There was this one, Justin, you know who I'm talking about, and I'm not even going to say how I know this person, but she was pretty gullible, and she would also believe things that you would think that no human being should believe in.
Oh, dear sweet Jesus. These
You
are
know
great.
where I'm going, don't you?
I know exactly where you're going.
So, you know where Clarksville Lake is?
Mm-hmm.
So, we're riding in this car, and I think Justin was sitting in the back, and I was driving, and we're going across the lake, and he knew, he knew when I started talking, I was setting
We had
him-
this girl such an and don't get sweet. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, don't-
So if she's
yeah,
listening,
just-
we're not insulting her. But we had a rhythm. Like I could hear by the way he was talking that we were getting ready to go. I mean, we got her so often that I could just tell by a pitch in his voice, like, okay, it's BS from here throughout the rest of the night.
So we're right across the lake, and I look across the water, and it's kind of choppy out, and I'm like, darn, it's really choppy out there today. And Justin's like, yeah. I said, they need to get that boat out there and cut those waves down.
What?
And she kind of looks up and looks out at the waves and looks back at me and looks back at the waves, and they do what? I said, they take a boat out there, it's got spinning blades on the side, and they cut the waves down to make it really smooth. She goes, Huh.
I wondered how they did that.
So
for those of you that didn't know, the way if you see a smooth lake, you can thank the guy riding the water lawnmower.
I thought of that idea, by the way. So
it was pretty hilarious.
I might have believed that. No,
Come
I
on
wouldn't.
now,
I wouldn't.
Jesse, come on now.
No, I wouldn't.
Jesse is a pretty intelligent human
I mean,
being. Don't let that.
this girl is smart. I mean,
Stump you.
she had her moment. So I'm not. You know,
Who is this person? Do I know them?
Yes.
maybe.
We'll tell you after the camera goes off.
Yeah, I'm not
Getting
gonna-
back on track.
Okay.
Here with embarrassing stories. Cameron, how about yours?
I don't know if I want to tell that one.
Come on.
Oh, come on. It's a
might.
good one.
She might get after.
You don't
me for
have to
that.
say what what it was exactly that you were doing. You could just give a description.
Well, let's just say that me and my girlfriend was engaging in some texts that weren't so G-rated.
Right.
Is that
Like,
proper?
things like I really want to smooch you, baby. Stuff like that, right?
Basically,
I really want to kiss you on your cheek.
hard in the face.
Right.
But anyway, so I had accidentally slipped and went to.
Was that a text message you sent?
Yes. Yeah, haha, I see what you did there. It accidentally slipped and went to the new guy at work.
Is that where it went?
Yes, it went all.
It went.
Yeah.
It went to a guy that you work with.
Yes.
It went to a guy.
It slipped in a
And
guy that
it's
you were.
one of those things where I have my phone and
I'm sorry.
I just got. I was
I'm
slow. I
sorry.
just got. She goes. So it slipped into a guy he worked with.
it did. But I hit send, and when I did, when the bar goes across,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, and I was trying to hit delete, and it sent, and I'm like, oh my god, how do I explain this? And so I'm trying to type out really quick before he texts me back, going like, the heck are you talking about? And then he's like, huh? And I'm like, oh my god, dude, I'm so sorry. That was not supposed to go to you. And he was like, I was just watching Kevin Hart, the part where he's like, I'm not ready for this.
So, dude, what I really thought you were gonna say was when he got to when he messaged you back, it was gonna say, well, that's a letdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Cameron, I don't anyways, but there's a reason why I would never dirty Snapchat. You know why?
Why?
People's names are way too close together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really
Yeah.
use Snapchat that much as it is. I mean, I could really probably delete it and not be, it's one of those things that's cool, but I don't think like people do to like post them a story and
Yeah.
all of that. So, I'll text my girlfriend. We don't really Snapchat unless it's something super cool that it's like, you got to see this. So, I could get rid of it really. It wouldn't bother me. But when you do send a Snapchat, you have no clue how many Snapchats might be like, maybe I was sending Caitlin one that's like, morning babe or morning boo or something like that, and then it goes to someone that it was not supposed to because their names are like right there, and I have big thumbs, so it was like but it's one of those things that and you would think, well, just check it, but you don't, because you press it, you hit the send button, and it's gone.
What would be really weird is if you get like 17 back, they're like, morning babe.
And they're all guys.
They're all guys.
That's why I would never dirty Snapchat, because it's all fun and games, and then the next thing you know, you send in your boss a picture of your dog.
Especially if you get like one back from like your shop class teacher or something from like high school. What's up,
Like, I
babe?
always know that I knew that I didn't earn those days. But yeah, so yeah, and we got something new that we want to get you, the listeners, involved in. It's really simple. Hashtag it, send it to us, whatever. We're starting up a new segment. We're trying to, as we go, if you hadn't picked up on, we're trying to create recurring segments to use in each one of these. And they won't be like every episode, but it will be something we can reuse and all of that. One of them is going to be hashtag first world problems. And there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
The struggle's real. People just don't understand the struggle of the first world.
What would?
And so that's what we want. We want, first world problems from you guys. Things that, if you don't want credit for, we don't have to use your name if you don't want. But, yeah. So, Jesse, do you have a few?
I do have one.
All right, let's get
that
it.
comes to mind. So I love cheddar Chex Mix, and there's I'm really upset about the fact that there's pretzels in there, and I'm even more right.
You don't like pretzels?
Why would they put pretzels in something? I don't like pretzels, but I like all the rest of the stuff.
Why would they do that?
I'm even more upset that you can't get those little triangle cheddar.
Those are delicious.
Right? Why can't you buy them in a bag by themselves?
By themselves.
Okay, all right. You want to hear a real struggle here, and try to stay in your seats. I mean, this is so Saturday night. Cameron, myself, and my girlfriend. We didn't have nothing to do, so we were like, you know what? Movie
Let's
night.
have a threesome. Oh, I'm sorry.
How did you tell her?
I mean, I thought you did.
No, we don't share
You guys
these
didn't
things.
invite me. What?
So what we
Well,
did?
it wouldn't be a threesome then, Jesse.
It would if we kicked you out, Cameron.
Oh,
Man, I tried to get it.
I'm a lifetime member, son.
But yeah, so we were like, it's going to be a movie night. So we go to the, and funny story about movie night too. We go to Redbox, we get 2 or 3 movies, and we're going back to Caitlin. So Cameron and I, he's riding with me, so we take a detour. We're like, going home, we're going to stop and get some candy and some popcorn and come on. I'm trying to maintain my composure as I talk about this. It really made me mad. So I'm like peeping candy and stuff. Right. I'm peeping all the candy.
What does peeping candy mean?
I'm peeping, yo. I'm like looking at the candy.
You're eyeing it.
Look, you're going to be a rapper. You've got to get down with
I
street
know.
lingo.
I'm trying to learn.
Of all the candies there, you know what they did not have? I'm going to set myself up here for a sound effect. You know what they did not have?
What did they not have?
Reese's Pieces.
That's fine because they're disgusting.
Are you hit it again, Justin? Hit it again. Yes.
First world problems. I'm not allowed to have an opinion.
Right. Welcome to the free world. But no, they had no Reese's Pieces. And then the funny story to go along with that was when we were at Redbox, Cameron works.
They had no freaking popcorn.
They
At the
did.
Red Box?
They did.
No, I get that at Redbox. Don't ask me how. But there's a guy behind it's a whole thing. I don't want
Okay.
to really go. But anyway, go ahead, Justin.
But anyways, so we're at the Red Box, and Cameron works third shift, for those that might not know. And so he's up all night, obviously, and we're not. So we get our 3 movies, and Cameron's doing the math, and he's like, man, if we watch all 3, it's going to be like 3 a.m. Before we finish. And he goes, I mean, I know that I can
It actually took
stay
me
up.
about 17 minutes to do that, but go ahead.
What, the math?
Yeah.
And he goes, I know that I can stay up, but I don't think that y'all can. And I was like, he goes, but I don't know about y'all. And I was like, I think we could. We're not even halfway through the first movie, and
Cameron's sleeping.
and Cameron snores like, I would say like a wood cutting factory, but that's like underselling it.
What?
And then like the thing was, he would wake up 3 or 4 times and get into our conversation with a laugh and go right back to sleep.
Yeah.
Caitlin's dog come in, Cameron's like, I was like, because Caitlin looked at me, she's like, how does he do that? I'm like, I don't know. Because he was just in conversation. It'd be like me saying, hold on a second, and then going straight to sleep. But yeah, so he who said he could hang could
Keep
not
in
hang.
mind, though, I said I could hang, and I did not do said hanging. I had only had like 2 hours of sleep that day anyway, and I had been up for like 24 hours almost.
Right.
So I was already tired. So
Yeah.
still no excuses.
Right.
No excuses.
I haven't seen that movie. I've seen the Redding Winger, but not the Wedding Ringer. Wedding Ringer.
Excuse you.
By the way, your headphones are super fly.
Oh yeah, I went on Amazon and bought a whole book of Lisa Frank stickers.
Lisa Frank, that takes me.
Because I lived in
That
the
takes me back.
90s.
That takes
I
me
really
back
thought
to my
they didn't
childhood.
make that stuff anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I decorated my J's for Days notebook with them,
Nice.
and I will be decorating a lot of other things with them.
Do
I
they
decorated
still-
my phone.
Do they still sell the folders and stuff too?
Yeah.
Wow.
That does take me back to my childhood, though. Not that I owned them. Every girl in the class had those. So that really does make me feel like a kid again. The colors are so cool.
Exactly.
It's
It
like
just
the
makes
colors.
You can't not be happy looking at Lisa
Look, kids.
Frank.
90s. All right, what other first world problems do we have from this last week?
What about the one I thought about earlier?
What was it?
When you're sitting at a stoplight and it's a really long stoplight,
Right.
and you're sitting there posting your problems on Facebook while you're in the car that you own, sitting at a stoplight waiting on traffic
On your iPhone.
on your iPhone.
I'm glad that I have these papers to throw with these
that
first
is
world
just
problems. This
first
is.
world
I don't even have an iPhone, so
Wow.
I see why you're angry all the time.
yeah.
I see
First
why
world
you're-
problems. I don't have an iPhone.
You're in the third world. Sister.
yeah, exactly. With my Samsung Galaxy S3.
Well, I have a television.
Between Cameron has the 6 Plus, which Cameron and I like to play video games, and he was talking about bringing a television to my house so that we could have 2 TVs and playing video games. I said, why do that when you can just use your phone? It's the same size as my damn television.
Yeah.
Look it up and blah, blah, blah.
You like bigger phones, though, right?
Yeah.
Does that make the...
You know what bigger phones mean, don't you? Bigger cases.
Cameron can't hear the sound.
I can barely hear them. Like, I'm hearing them, and I'm like, y'all are like this, and then I'm like, oh.
Can we just...
Let's just say, hypothetically here, that we were like, you know, like, this gets big enough, so we start branching off, and we're like, okay, well, we'll have, like, if Jesse wants to have a music podcast, and I want to do a video game podcast, like, we keep this one, but we, like, you know, have other ones to go along. We'd have to change the company name. It couldn't be Jays for Days, because if I did a gaming podcast, it'd be with Cameron.
I'll just change my name to, it'll have a silent J in front of it.
Okay,
But it
cool.
could
I appreciate your dedication.
Cameron.
Yeah, J. Cameron.
But it could still be Jink.
I do like Jink. I think Joey came up with that.
Yeah, he did.
It's like, it's, you know, Jink is Jay's Incorporated, more or less, but it doesn't have to mean that. You know what I mean? So you could have people with
Could be
C's.
Jinko jeans.
Yeah, we thought
I used to be obsessed with those.
I had one
they're coming
pair, and
back.
I was so
hear.
proud.
I got 2 pair of shorts still in my closet.
I don't know where my jeans went.
Yeah, I got 2 pair. They lasted
It's
all
a
this
good
time.
thing.
Yeah. They would cover my whole foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss Jinko jeans.
I heard they're coming back.
I could get down with some Jinko jeans.
My dad told me when I was younger, and it's so true. He was like, whatever fashion trends are in, just wait, they'll be back. He was like, everything always comes back around some way,
Parachute
shape,
pants are coming back, which they should
some way,
go
shape, or
back.
form. 70s bell bottoms. When I was in high school, well, middle school and high school, it might not have been necessarily bell bottoms, but girls wore like the flared out
Yeah.
bottom leg. I mean, everything comes back around in some way, shape, or form because once it's been gone long enough, it's retro. So
well,
then,
I want
you know,
the 80s to come back.
which type of 80s? The
Like
bright
spin-
80s?
yes,
Loud
Or the
colors.
bright,
and-
bright spandex triangles.
What about the ankle warmers?
triangles.
Yes. I used to wear leg warmers.
What was there was there a purpose to them?
They keep your legs warm.
I mean, I saw that coming.
Hence the name.
But like when you're wearing shorts up to here,
They're just cute,
couldn't you
okay?
all right, so you have a lucrative dance career. You have a lucrative rap career. What am I going to be doing in the future?
you're the bouncer.
I'm the bouncer.
You're the bouncer. We need protection, dude.
You're not going to find people, I guess, as gangsters as I am, so
Yeah.
I guess I'll just do what I have to. It has been awesome and fun, and we thank Cameron so very much for joining us, but it looks like we have reached the end of the line here.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
But
Gracias.
we very much appreciate you guest hosting with us. You can guest host anytime that you want to come up. It was very fun. Joey will be back, I believe, next week. You might see us in a different location next week. Who knows? We'll see. But Cameron, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
The
Thank y'all.
listeners,
It's been
thank
real.
you. Hashtag first world problems. Hashtag it. Send it to us. Whatever you got to do. Send it to us on Facebook, email, Instagram, what have you. Also, ghost stories. We want yours. Get in contact with us or just send us on our Facebooks or the official Facebook a ghost story of yours. And it will get read in the hour-long ghost special. That'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So
You can follow us on Instagram at Jays for Days Podcasting, and you feel free to comment on pictures, or you can DM us.
yep. And you can also follow us on Twitter. And don't forget Clamor.
Oh yeah, Clamor.
Download
CLAMMR.
Yes, it's for the iPhone. Find us, follow us. I think you'll enjoy it. We tease you each week with podcast clips. It's pretty cool. So any one of those outlets, Facebook, of course, Jays for Days Podcasting. Find us, like us, all that good stuff.
And don't follow me anywhere. I'm not important. If you follow me, I'll call the police.
Well, I'm Justin,
I'm Jesse.
and we'll see you next week.
No, it was the one with Robert Downey. Well, that is due date. With Jack Black and what was it? Tropical Thunder.
Was it tropical? Oh, it was Tropical Thunder.
It's definitely Tropic Thunder.
Is it Tropic Thunder?
Well,
I'm thinking about a yummy drink.
it should be Tropical Thunder.
That is a yummy drink, I swear.
I'm
I just
sure.
invented it. A yummy beverage.
What is in it?
What is in it?